So the Pittsburgh Steelers have a problem, and this time the problem does not reside on the offensive side of the football. We're not going to be talking about the wide receiver 2 dilemma. We're not going to be talking about Kenny Pickett. We're not even going to be talking about Matt Canada. This problem resides in the defensive philosophy that comes from Mike Tomlin.
You knew exactly what they were doing every time, and they still do what they do. They still do the same goddamn shit that when I was playing Tomlin's defense.
Steeler football.
I'm like, what the? We still have linebackers covering the 3 slot?
Yeah.
Every time we play the Steelers, I have at least 9 catches.
Coach,
You would think that they would change it.
All right.
No, but they do what they do.
It's like we just go through this, you know what? We're just better than you. We're going to line up and we're going to beat you. That works to a certain extent.
Until you meet someone who's not better than you.
At some point, you have to decide that you're going to throw some different wrinkles at teams. I mean, that's what we used to, you know, again, I mentioned this at one point when we were doing offensive stuff. Hey, coach, what if they do this? They won't. I'm sorry? What did they do? Mm-hmm. So, I just think, that's something that the Steelers have, they got to get away from. They've got to get to a point of, if that's true, and he's saying it, I don't know why it wouldn't be true, but if Julian Edelman says that he's seeing the same thing that when he was playing, then must be something to it.
There it is, guys. You just heard former NFL wide receiver, former New England Patriot, Julian Edelman talk about what it was like going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you watch the Steelers in the past, if you watch some of our former New England Patriots games, you know exactly what Julian Edelman was saying was how it went down every time. For some reason, we could never stop the New England Patriots. We always got flat out coached by the New England Patriots, and it's seeming like as we get further and further into Mike Tomlin's career, if teams just study, if teams just try hard, if we do not sack the quarterback, there is going to be players wide open in the passing game. Now, obviously, we can talk about how embarrassing it is for a former NFL wide receiver to be going on the podcast talking about how easy it was to play against your team, right? Like, we can get that out of the way. That sucks. But when you start to think about how the Pittsburgh Steelers have finished their past couple of seasons, and we talk about our shortcomings, we talk about the fact we can't get another playoff game under our belt, it really starts to make sense as to why. Now, obviously, the offensive side of the football has been a huge scapegoat and really takes a lot of the blame for why we haven't been able to have playoff success recently. But when we look at the last couple of games that we have played in the playoffs, look at how many points the opposing team has scored. Baltimore Ravens, 28 points. Buffalo Bills, 31 points. Kansas City Chiefs, 42 points. Cleveland Browns, 48 points. Jacksonville Jaguars, 45 points. New England Patriots in the AFC Championship, 36 points. Trust me, I wouldn't consider myself a mathematician, but that is an average of 38 points a game, which is just downright inexcusable. But once again, what did Julian Edelman tell us? We do the same things over and over and over again. And so when you have time to game plan, when you have time to watch film, when you have time to really lock in, is it really surprising that teams are putting up close to 40 points a game against us? No. So we've established that the Steelers run and do the same exact things on defense that they did 25 years ago. And much like me, I'm sure you're at home wondering, why? Why would they do this if they know it's not going to work? And truthfully, there's 2 answers. The first being, it used to work. I know that's dumb. I know that's stupid. However, I swear, it used to work. This used to be the play. And 2, and probably the biggest reason why the Steelers are in the hole that they're in today, it's because of ego. What you guys are looking at right now is a picture I'm sure every Steelers fan has seen in their life. It's a Sports Illustrated cover art of when we were going into the playoffs with the best defense in the NFL. On this picture, we have Troy Polamalu, we have James Harrison, we have Brett Keisel, we have some real dogs on the screen. Keep in mind, this picture is probably very nostalgic to a lot of people out there, including myself. We all love Troy, we all love James Harrison, we all love all of these players that are in this picture. But when we fast forward to today, when we look at the Steelers defense with players like Cameron Hayward and TJ Watt and Jalen Ramsey and so on and so forth, is it really that different Once again, we know Troy is in a league of his own, but past that, TJ Watt has been a perennial All-Pro, a perennial Defensive Player of the Year. Is it that different? That defense versus today? Now I understand I might be getting a little blasphemous considering that defense ended up winning a Super Bowl and this defense just gave up 62 million points to a 60-year-old Joe Flacco. I understand. I also understand that back in the day, you used to be able to do helmet to helmet. It used to be some real CTE ball going on out there. So I understand the difference in eras, but what I'm trying to portray to you is back then, we used to care about defense. Back then, we paid the defense, we did our thing. Fast forward, we're still paying the defense, we're still doing our thing, but there is dramatically different results going on the field. Up on the screen now is another picture which I'm sure every Steelers fan has seen in their life. But this is where I kind of want to start talking about the whole ego portion of it all. Because as you can see, there is a man on that screen. And that man's name is Dick LeBeau. And this guy, as a youngin', he was my first and only defensive coordinator. Because once he went away, the Steelers have not had a defensive coordinator since. Don't get me wrong, we've literally had people be defensive coordinators for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But in terms of impact and in terms of influence, we haven't had a guy since Dick LeBeau. And while Mike Tomlin is a very good defensive mind, him being able to kind of bounce ideas off of Dick LeBeau and Dick LeBeau using his veteran status to kind of coach up the team had a massive impact in the Steelers' defensive success back then. And so what I mean about ego is the fact that Mike Tomlin is now the established veteran, because when this picture came out, when this picture was taken, when the Steelers were allowing literally like 10 points a game and having the star-studded Super Bowl defense, Mike Tomlin was a young gun. He was up and coming into the league, but now he is the veteran. He is the Dick LeBeau on the sideline. He is the one getting put on the graphics. Back then, because of his status, he had to listen to coaches like Dick LeBeau and on the offensive side of the football, Bruce Arians, because he himself was new. Now that we are in 2025, I feel like he's allowed himself to kind of be the top dog in the room and only hire coaches that won't necessarily step on his toes. We look at our coordinators now, and excuse me for being a casual and, not too much on our defensive coordinator, Terrell Austin, but I don't really know who he is outside of being the Steelers defensive coordinator. Arthur Smith are on the offensive side of the ball. He was once a head coach and whatnot, but even he's not absolutely crazy. Before him was another name. Before Terrell Austin was Keith Butler, which once again, I don't really know what he did besides being the Steelers defensive coordinator. These are all people who Mike Tomlin simply just outranks. Even when we had Brian Flores, we only kept him for a year and then all of a sudden he just, he couldn't be our defensive coordinator. It had to be Terrell Austin. And I just find that a little weird. It's like Mike Tomlin just has to or wants to be the smartest guy in the room when it comes to coaching. Now, I love this guy, right? I love Mike Tomlin. And so really me making a negative video per se about Mike Tomlin, it really hurts. But I just got to call it how I see it. This is Zaya and the Steelers. This isn't Zaya and the Tomlins. This isn't Zaya and Mike. This is Zaya and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so I have to be honest. And truthfully, if we could just have some success, if we could just get the job done in the playoffs, it could be Mike and Mike. This channel could be called Tomlin and the Tomlins. I wouldn't have a problem. But the way we play defense now in our schematics just simply is not good enough. And I fear that we are going to repeat the same exact cycle over and over and over again. How do we fix this? The only thing I can think of is Mike Tomlin has to be more willing and able to hear other ideas and try other things. How many times have we gone through these post-game press conferences where players simply say, we just have to be better? Mike Tomlin says we didn't execute. Mike Tomlin says players have to be in the right spots. How many times on third down have we seen wide receivers wide open? It's 3rd and 16. For any other team, that's like a punt. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's damn near first down. The Steelers just can't simply afford for Mike Tomlin to be the smartest one in the room all the time. This is something I had to learn while going through life. If I'm the smartest one around, if I'm the smartest one in the building, if I'm the smartest one in the room, then that's a dumbass room. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of yapping at this point. I'm sitting here giving life advice to Mike Tomlin. It's probably not even that deep. I'm just tired of the Pittsburgh Steelers looking like hot trash on primetime football. I'm tired of us not winning playoff games, and I'm tired of us talking about Mike Tomlin in the manner that we talk about him, because every loss that we get, every time we fall short of our goals, Mike Tomlin's legacy gets dragged down farther and farther and farther. And I just want the best for him, and I just want the best for the team. And so I hope and I pray that I'm wrong. I hope that, you know, our get a sack defense, that's how we play the secondary, is we get a sack. I hope that we get a sack. I hope that we can just sack the quarterback 25 times a game. I hope that our linebackers can cover shifty slot wide receivers and tight ends and running backs. I hope that on 3rd and 20 that the defense will be able to hold. But at the end of the day, I can only just go off of what I've seen. And from what I've seen, it's going to be another quick year. And it's sad because our offense is really hooping, man. Aaron Rodgers is doing his thing. It's like, holy smokes, we could do it. It's like, if our offense gets good, then our defense falls. If our defense gets good, then our offense falls. It's just like, man, nothing can be perfect for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but this is the life I chose. This is the life you chose, and this is what we all as Steelers fans have chosen. So with all that said, I think that is going to do it for me for this video. I had a lot of fun making this. This seemed like a more well thought out kind of video I've had. It's been a little bit since I've uploaded on the channel. I've been going through some things in the whole life aspect. The whole video editing software kind of broke on me. It's been tough. I also, this whole video, I don't know if you guys saw, I tried to hang up the sign. It fell off the wall. We'll ignore that. Eventually that sign is going to go up. It's going to look nice, but I had a great time making this, and I hope to make more videos like this. So once again, if you guys got all the way to this point, if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, subscribe, share it with your Steeler friends, share it with anybody in the world. This has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.